Right, so here's my quick little run through of where my Minecraft realm is at. This is the original building that we built. Couple of beds, couple of chests, furnaces, that kind of carry on. And out here is all the things that we've built. Lots of things. So let's start with the house over here, because that's fun. We're coming through the front door here, and we'll walk across the pressure plates. Ding dong! Those pressure plates enable me to open and close the doors automatically. I just need to manually open them to get inside. Bedroom. This is largely modelled off of my own house. Lounge, kitchen, family room out the back, and kids' room right out the back. For those that have been in my house. Pretty. Over here we've got the honey hives. That's the new thing, work in progress. Here we've got the mob tower, so we can open it up and go and have a look inside. Basically a whole bunch of levels that are automatically flushing with a timer. If we come up the scaffold, you'll be able to see. Oh, my timer's broken. That thing there is supposed to be a timer that's flushing out mobs, but it's not generating any mobs because each level's flooded already. Anyway, that's how that's supposed to work. That's a fix-up job for me later. Oh, there's an Enderman in my house. Over here we've got the main kind of important bit is my sorter. It's all underneath this hill here. You can see I've got rail carts coming and going, automatic feeders in here. If a rail cart turns up here full, gets locked into place, drops it into this chest here, which drops it into this chest here, or that hopper there, and then we come inside here to the sorting room. So you can see each of these things: cobblestone, black stuff, granite, dirt, and all the way down here we're sorting all of these things. So I can just drop stuff into those chests at the top, and it all gets automatically sorted. So there's lots of tutorials on how to do these automatic sorting things, but basically it's a whole series of hoppers up here that'll flow things down here and drop them into the appropriate hopper underneath. So each of these hoppers has 21 items of something that's sorted further back at the start of the chain, which was cobblestone as my first thing, and then the item that I want to sort into it. So that's the basics of it. So yeah, massive big sorter, sorting all my things. I've got to extend it because there's a whole bunch of new resources that I'm collecting now. If we go out here, we can see my automatic chicken farm. So hiding down under here, I've got chickens all in my 1x1 square. This is a thing called entity cramming, where it'll only allow you to have I think 32 chickens in that one space. So I just get all my eggs out of the bottom here, and I pop them in the top chest here. I did have a creation in another map that I could spit those out automatically from the bottom all the way to the top. I have yet to fix that here. Over here I've got a little timing block. So it's just basically a piece of cobblestone that's bouncing backwards and forwards between these two hoppers, which creates a timing click, which then fires this dispenser. So all the eggs are coming through this dispenser. Some of them turn into babies, go down there. As they grow up into adults, the entity cramming kicks in, so you can have 32 adult chickens, and then they start dying and dropping chicken out. Chicken and feathers out the bottom. Similar kind of setup with cows over here. So I've got a chest down here that's got some wheat in it. I jump up here. Over the other side here I've got a little dispenser with a water bucket. Pushes these guys up into the top. I grab my wheat and I feed them. My shield is in the way. Feed all the cows. And again, entity cramming. You have 32 cows in there in one hit, so eventually you end up with too many cows. Just keep going to the hard stop. Anyway, turn that off. We go back down to the bottom. There's a hopper down underneath, which collects anything that falls out of the bottom of that, which is a whole bunch of raw beef. And leather, which I use for making books. So now that I've got a bunch of stuff to go into my sorter, I can just dump that straight in there, and that'll fire off to a furnace underneath and automatically burn itself. So here is my turtle farm, which has been all kinds of successful. If we look under here, scutes, that's what they are. So yeah, heaps of scutes, so I can make lots of helmets. Basically I get a bunch of what do they call that stuff? Weedy stuff out of the water anyway. Feed it to the turtles, which makes them breed, and you can see through there's eggs. The eggs hatch. The tiny turtles can fit through this little gap down here into this space underneath, and then as they grow up they suffocate. So no more big turtles, just the baby turtles, and when they turn from baby turtles into adult turtles, that's when the scutes come off. So, and they're all collected by this minecart running around underneath. Bamboo farm. This was kind of my own design. I've got a raid underway. Just ignore these guys trying to kill me. Oh, no, I won't. Okay, I'm going to have to cheat. So, in the top here, we've got all this bamboo grows up, and then on each side there is a observer, which observes as the bamboo grows up to that height. It fires off all these pistons across the bottom, which chops off the bamboo back down to one height, and then down the bottom we've got these rail carts running backwards and forwards. Well, they're supposed to be running backwards and forwards. I think for some reason they've stopped, and that all feeds into this chest here. So at the moment it's a manual process to get the bamboo out of there, and over to here to use as fuel for, oh, that stopped too, fuel for my kelp burning station. So kelp all comes in here through this. Turn that back on again. Oops. Yeah, comes in through this hopper here and gets distributed across each of these. You can see here I've got a bunch of dried kelp in here that gives me XP when I pull it out. And then I turn it into kelp blocks, which I then store for later use for fuel. And I've got a whole heap of those amongst other things in that chest. So lots of fuel. So where does the kelp come from? That's the next fun bit. So I'm going to go into... Right, so this water chute here, basically they come firing up here and down into this hopper, which eventually feeds into this hopper to feed all that. So where does the water chute go? The water chute comes down here, all the way down, oops, down this little river that I've got here. So all this stuff manually washes itself down. Down this great big long chute, and all gets washed across. So down through that river and into the kelp farm. Down here is a single row of kelp that's growing. What I've got down here, if we just jump back over here, is a bunch of soul sand, so I can walk along here and not drown, which is cool. And as you can see over here, similar thing to my bamboo, I've got a whole bunch of pistons over here which will cut this off when it gets to a certain height. That is all controlled by somewhere up here. Down here somewhere, there we go, we've got an observer block. So when the kelp gets to here, it fires off those pistons, automatically cuts the kelp, and it flows down through there and ends up inside my kelp farm. So completely automatic from the kelp collection point of view, and I've just got to, yeah, as I said, hook up that bamboo farm to actually fill these with fuel. What else have we got? We've got my little sheep farm over here. Ignore all the pumpkins and watermelons and things. Get kind of dull. So in here, I haven't got a sheep in here at the moment, but I would have a sheep, I would have dyed it a particular colour. I would then share the sheep. The sheep then eats the grass and grows more wool. So when the grass grows, it fires off a redstone signal. Down here we've got observers hiding behind there, which are observing the change in the grass. Fires off a redstone signal through here, bounces back up into here, and fires off the dispenser. This dispenser has shears in it. The shears pop out, shear the sheep, and then pop back in again, and then the cycle starts again. So we've got all these kind of naked sheep going on down here, none of which have I could sit here for ages waiting for these to go, and they wouldn't. So all the wool comes down through here, with this little rail cart that's going backwards and forwards. Is this another rail cart that stopped? What? Oh no, there we go. It hadn't stopped, I just stopped it. Oops. That's right, it'll figure itself out. Drops down into this chest. There's a series of hoppers underneath here that feed it down into here, which is the bottom of my tree farm. Drop into this chest, and there's a minecart bouncing backwards and forwards here, which will... Oh, apologies. Which will eventually feed underneath the ground up over here. It pops out. This guy, you just saw him disappear there. Pops out here and up into another feeder into my vault. Oh, that chest. Oh, these guys are going to ruin my demo. Get out. Let's get my shield back out at the very least.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Right, get them out of the way. Right, so out over the water over here is my beginning farm, my most important farm. I don't know why it's built on the water, it was just easiest. So basically along way down here somewhere, I've got a village. I put villagers into boats and rowed them across the ground to here and popped them inside this little chamber here. So there's 5 or 6 villagers in there. They spawn iron golems up on top of here, which is again is a water chute. Water flows from this end to this end and drops the iron golem down into this lava down here. And oh, trust me to get that one wrong. Again, a water chute here which runs the iron down and into this down here. So yeah, getting plenty of iron, which I then grab, convert into blocks, and take back into my sorter. Cool, so there's a bunch of things that are currently broken that I really need to fix up. I've got a tiny manual sugar farm here. Basically I just run down it and cut them all off and collect it all and put it in the sorter. The tree farm, so I come down the tree farm, cut down the wood, and then all of these bits here break down eventually, and they all drop into this water chute here, which runs the sticks and the saplings all down here, back into that chest that we saw earlier, which then goes through the minecart trail, just to show you my minecart's underground, eventually into my sorting system anyway. Cool, and that is about it, besides my dog breeding program that I've got going on upstairs. So yeah, I've got plenty of dogs to follow me around and help with killing the beasties. I think that's about it. Besides my mine. Actually, maybe what I'll show you too is my... So in here I've got a fancy piston door. I need a lever. Put the lever in the right place. And it pushes the block out of the way. Grab that lever and... oh! Voila, there's a hole there. I've also got this to automatically close on the way out. So a series of pistons on each side that do that for me. Cool, and as I come through here I've got another pressure plate, so that'll close the door behind me. So if I'm inside my secret room, in theory nobody can see it. I don't know, I've got a bunch of stuff in here that's kind of not important. I've also got another secret hidden room in there which I'm not going to show, but same sort of concept. Lever opens up, there's some chests in there. This guy, because it's on the inside of the hidden place, I just left a button on the wall. Cool. And this is the bottom of my... way down here is the bottom of my kelp farm. So this is the back end of the pistons on the kelp farm. The pistons are all hidden behind this block here, but I can manually fire the pistons too if I want to, just by flicking that switch and flicking it back again. So now there'll be a whole bunch of kelp flying through into my kelp farm. So yeah, it's kind of a lot to take in. I can also get out here and manually get into my kelp farm. I've got right down the end of the kelp farm, I've got a section that doesn't have pistons in it yet. Starting about here, so I can just manually go through and put all those, and again those will be floating up, following that pipeline back into my kelp farm. So yeah, if I pop back up to the surface now, we should be able to see the kelp farm in action, or kelp burner in action. So these stairs here, just underneath here, is where that secret hideout is. They're all hiding away under there. Got my little doorway to the nether there, my portal. So what we should see here is that this is now filling up with all the kelp flowing through. It's kind of fun, if it's still going, to see like, all that kelp popping up. Fires out the top of the chute. It's quite funny. So it's filling up this minecart here. Once that minecart's full, that will unlock and it'll start shooting backwards and forwards and filling this up. So what I might do is just see if I can... There we go. So it just races backwards and forwards and drops the kelp into there and they start burning. Simple as. So yeah, I want to hook up that bamboo farm so it drops bamboo where are we? Straight into these hoppers here. Because at the moment I have to manually grab the bamboo and pop it in there. Cool. So that is my... Oh, no, one last thing right down here. So I've got a couple of, like, my hidden doors use sticky pistons, so I needed a reasonable source of slime to be able to make sticky pistons. So if we come down here, you'll see I've dug out this great big chamber here. Slime spawn in this area here, and they're attracted to iron golems. They hate them. So I've got a iron golem, series of iron golems in a wall down there, and several layers deep of slime spawning areas. Oops. Which then again, I've got a washing system, washes it down here onto magma blocks, some hoppers in there, and right down the end, if I can just get out of here to turn my spectator mode off, all gets down into this chest here. So I haven't got an automatic collection system going there, but I've got heaps of slime balls showing up in there. So again, I will grab those, turn them into slime blocks, and pop them back into the sorting system. Ooh, interesting. It's one of my boys' hidden layers. I don't know how to get there, but... So yeah, if we come back up onto the surface, we'll see... Jump into my sorting system, and we can see the success of some of my farms. So this is my iron farm. These are all iron blocks, so it's 64 times 9 iron bars there, so I've got heaps. My wood farm's doing reasonably well, although that's a manual thing, so yeah. My bamboo farm was far too successful, which is why I've started using it as fuel. Sugarcane, heaps of. This is the slime blocks that I've been getting out. Again, that's each one of those is 64 times 9, I think it is, for slime balls. And various other things. All these saplings that have come out of my tree farm. This is stuff that's come out of my mob farm, that big tower. So, like, a double chest full of gunpowder, almost full of string from the spiders. Oops. Bunch of arrows from skellies, bones from skellies. All of this wool that's coming off of my sheep automatically. So yeah, no shortage of resources now that I've got it all sorted. Lots of redstone. And more cobblestone than you can shake a foot, yeah, shake a thing at. Shake a leg at? Shake a, I don't know, what's that saying? Otherwise, the very last thing that we can have a look at down here is where I've got all of my base resources from, including all my diamonds. I've got like a stack and a half of diamonds floating around in one of my secret treasure troves. Is down. So yeah, a lot of like manual mining to get to where I'm at. I shudder to think how many hours I've actually spent on this. Long way down. You just dig all the way down, and you will find, oh look, lava, and more lava. And that's I had to step down there because there's lava above there. So you have to be really cautious when you're digging this far down. Way down here, way down here. Yeah, I've done a lot of manual mining, hours and hours and hours. That's why I've got so much of that black stone stuff And this corner here, and this is where my boring machine is. So it's this boring channel is so long that you can't see the end of it. Fun fact, if you jump and run at the same time, you move much faster. You use a lot more energy, but... And this is my boring machine. So you can see here I've had to plug up a whole bunch of stuff real quick like, because I've hit lava here, and it's come flowing in through the wall. I just happen to have a bunch of sandstone on me at the time. So this is whoop. I can't remember what they call the stone now. It's something other than nether anyway. It's quite hard to find. It doesn't blow up with TNT. Glowstone just because it's pretty. A series of pistons and convoluted things. There's a plan for this online somewhere. But basically, if you hit this note block, it fires off a whole bunch of things. This whole thing moves across, and there's this weird bug that will duplicate that TNT, and it will fire it out across the top of that. This thing here, all lit and ready to go, and it blows a big section in here. So I've just basically been sitting here going dunk, dunk, dunk on that note block, and making it fire off that whole boring machine, and one step at a time dug out this whole tunnel here, which is a whole lot quicker than doing it manually, that's for sure. So yeah, this is that's kind of the final piece of my magical mystical realm. You can see in spectator mode there's so much lava underground, it's ridiculous. And eventually I'll come back out up the top here somewhere, hopefully near my... There we go. No, that's not it. Ah, there we go. What is that? Oh, it's a sheep that got away. Cool. And those are the farms that my kids started, because manual farmers like idiots. And that's my realm thus far. There's kind of nothing else to really show, I guess, except maybe my cocoa beans over here. I've got heaps of them. I am done now, I promise. Yeah, lots and lots of work involved in all of that, and as I said, a few fix-up jobs to do, but we're getting there. Not even sure what I'm going to do next. I'm kind of collecting all of the resources that are important for, I don't know, collecting more resources. So I think we're good. I need to really start going on more adventures and discovering some more land around. The only other thing that I would say is that I've got inside the nether a whole bunch of pathways. Wow. A whole bunch of pathways to get to places quicker on the overworld. Yeah, because if you don't know, the nether, you travel one block is the same as traveling 8 blocks in the overworld. So basically, you create a portal, you walk 100 blocks in the nether, and put in another portal, and you'll be 800 blocks away from where you started in the overworld. So it's kind of my quick way to get to and from places. Yeah, so that is me. Hope that was fun and interesting, and gives you some inspiration for your build.